guys, welcome to week 2, and this week's intention is on Pranayama. And Pranayama simply means breath, but with the breath what we're going to do is do a couple of different types. So we're going to start off with what's called an alternating nostril breath, and it can be a little tricky, but I'll show you an easy way. And then throughout our practice, when we get started through the poses, we're going to do what's called an ujjayi breath, which is what we want to maintain throughout our whole 12 weeks through this program here. So like I mentioned in the intro, we're trying to add in every intention throughout this program as one. So you're going to learn a lot throughout this 12 weeks. So with that said, let's begin by just settling into our seat. So find a comfortable position. Just the legs. You might like to come into a straight leg or kneeling position. Rest the hands just on the knees for now. Take a big breath in, sit up nice and tall. And exhale out through the nose. So generally in yoga we breathe in and out through the nose. It's only if we're in maybe an intense variation of a pose and we need to just let it out, just sink yourself into it. However, most of it's done through the nose. So what I want you to do now is bring your left hand up to your face, okay? Now your left thumb is going to place on your left side nostril. So what you're going to do is just hover it there for a second. Take a deep breath in through both nostrils first. Block that nostril off and exhale through your right nostril. Then you're going to take an inhale through that right same nostril. Then block off the other side nostril and exhale it out. Now this is just an easy variation of holding your hand. Breathe in, switch, breathe out. Now if you need to blow your nose at any stage, now's a good time to do that. Clear out the nostrils. And we're going to keep that going for about a minute or so, but I'll show you a little fancier way to do it. You don't have to, you can even do 2 hands if you need to. But we use the thumb as we were. Your peace fingers, your 2 peace fingers, go at the third eye. And then you can either use your ring finger or your little finger to block off that other nostril when we're up to it. So I generally keep my hands in a little, a little sort of shape, alright? And rest those 2 peace fingers there. So let's start with the left nostril again. Inhale, block it off. So we're breathing in through the right side. Switch sides, block your right nostril off, release the left, exhale. Breathe in the same side, left side, inhale. Block it off, switch sides, exhale. Breathe in. Switch, breathe out. Inhale left. Exhale through the right. Breathe in through the right. Switch sides, exhale left. Inhale. Switch, exhale through the right. Breathe in. Switch, exhale through the left. One more cycle. Breathe in through the left side. Switch sides, exhale through the right. Breathe in through the right. Exhale, switch. Release the hands to the knees and take some normal breath here. Notice how you feel. So that's quite a cooling but warming up exercise for your breath. So it's encouraging you to take those bigger breaths from the belly. I hope you enjoyed that. And now we're going to begin our practice. So find yourself in a comfortable seat still. If you need a change, go for it. Let's close off the eyes. I really do encourage you to close off those eyes because it helps you tap inwards, okay? And that's what we're here for you. Okay, inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, drop the shoulders down and back. Let's inhale, take a wide reach with the arms, straight up high. Exhale, twist to your right hand side, looking over that right shoulder, just supporting your fingertips behind you only. So we don't want to ground the entire hand here like that. We want to be on the fingertips but behind us. What that does is make you have to switch on your core muscles here. Breathe through. Okay, one more breath here. And then I'll show you our Ujjayi breath. Notice your regular breath. Let's inhale, spin it back around with wide arms, reach up high. We're going to exhale, twist to your left. So just using your hands a little bit to twist you, not too much. So while we're in this twist, we're going to bring the Ujjayi breath in. So that simply means breathing in and out through the nose, but with your exhale, you actually want to take a little sigh through the back of the throat. So you breathe in normally through the nose. And then just a little, as though you're like, but with the mouth closed. Let's take 2 more breaths here. So it should be loud enough so that someone could hear you if they were right next to you or a couple of meters away from you. Not loud enough to blow the house down. As good as that might feel. Lengthening deep into the belly through the breath. Let's unwind. Take an inhale to unwind, wide reach. And exhale, reach your right hand over to the right side, plant the hand and reach your left arm, carrying over with the body. So we're getting a nice lateral reach through that left side. With your elbow, make sure you're not shrugging through the shoulder or pointing it back behind you. Notice that, right elbow pointing down towards the ground. Your whole shoulder will rotate into the correct position. Your left arm's really reaching out long. You might even be able to ground your elbow depending how far into your practice you are. Gaze can be forwards, up or down. Do what serves your neck here. One big Ujjayi breath. Breathe in for about 5 seconds if you can. Hold it at the top. Exhale through the nose. Inhale to rise up, both hands fly up high. Exhale to your left. Take your time to ease into it. No rush, no pressure. Find that Ujjayi breath once again. We want to find that breath as often as we can in this practice. Grounding the hips here. So if you're grounding your elbow and your hips have come up, you need to lift that elbow, plant the hips, take a step back. One more Ujjayi breath. And inhale, rise up, both hands reach high. Exhale them down through heart center. Take a breath. Beautiful. All right, we're going to be on into tabletop. So I'll jump on over there and find yourself in this lovely tabletop. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and hip width apart as well, not together. Toes can be tucked or untucked here, whatever feels best on your knees right now. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest and chin high. We're scooping up into cow pose. Exhale then, brace the core, push the back to the sky, really push into your hands like you're pushing to the ceiling. Inhale, flow it back to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, follow that Ujjayi breath again, remember. That is our intention, Pranayama, the breath. One more flow. As you exhale, tuck the toes if they're not, sweep it up to a downward facing dog. So you might need to take a step further back. Just pedaling out those legs here, walking the dog. Spread the fingers out wide. Have a look to see if they are. If they're still quite close together, just replant them. Turn eyes of the elbows inwards, if not up towards the ceiling, drooping the chest down, but keeping your core engaged here. Now, if this gets too much at any time, we're going to come into child's pose. So let's come into that now anyways. Inhale, rise onto the tippy toes. Exhale, lower the knees slowly down to the mat, a little bit wider than the hips. Once you get there, untuck the toes, push the hips back towards your heels. Keep the arms reaching long, elbows lifted, and just peel yourself down towards the mat. So I like to shimmy a little side to side, sinking into it. Rest your forehead once you're there. Remember to keep those arms reaching, fingers spread out wide. Notice how good this feels. It's a classic pose, but it's oh so good. Alright, so remember that you can come into this pose anytime you need to, but we're going to move on. Inhale, push back into tabletop. Exhale, straight into downward facing dog. And meeting up there. Let's take a step to forward fold at the top of our mat. So you can take one big step and then step up with the other foot. If you need to take several, that's totally fine. But we're going to have bent knees to start off with, and then allow the arms to droop down. If you reach the ground easily, you might like to come into ragdoll here. So let's lengthen through the spine, let the neck free up, loosen it out here. And find a pause throughout your day. Maybe straightening the legs a little bit more if that feels good for you. So what feels right here, whether it's stillness or movement. I like to pedal out my knees here, a bit like we did in our downward facing dog. And let's keep moving on. Release the hands towards the ground. Inhale, slide it up to our halfway lift. So if you remember from week 1, what I like to do is slide the hands along the top of the feet, up through the shins, straighten the legs out as much as you can, and then straighten out the back as much as you can. So you're really trying to tilt your pelvis backwards behind you to poke that butt out, alright? Hopefully you're in a quiet space so you don't care if you're poking your butt out or not. Alright, exhale, fold it back down. Option to bend the knees here a bit more. Inhale, halfway lift. Straight arms, legs and back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Remember, not cutting out too hard. We still want to push the limits a bit. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. I like to bend the knees, roll every vertebrae up, sweep the arms wide and high at the top. Exhale the hands down through the middle. Take a pause there. Beautiful. Okay, let's take into our balance pose. So what you're going to do, bring your feet nice and close together. Inhale your right knee up in front of you, holding that there. Now the idea here is to use your core to really draw that in. So brace and breathe, finding that length through the standing leg, through the crown of your head as well. Notice the core, your hip flex will be working a little bit here too. Point the toes of that lifted leg. And we're going to sweep it back into a bit of a warrior pose. So find your balance here. It can be a little tricky. We're going to exhale, warrior 3. So keep balancing. Push that right leg further behind you as though you're coming into a capital T. Now your arms can come out for balance if you need it. Maybe even rest on something. But if we can, we're trying to reach out long in front of us. Capital T, like I said. Inhale, bring it back to prayer pose, knee to chest. All right, tricky, hey? Exhale 3 more times, back to a capital T. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm wobbly today. Inhale back to high knee. Wee, super wobbly today. I'm out of practice. Exhale, reach, warrior three. Inhale. One more. Exhale. Inhale back. Lovely, we're not done yet. We're going to cross that right ankle over the knee and start to squat down here. So this right now, if you need something to lean on, go for it. We're really trying to rest that top right knee ankle on top of that left knee. Flex the foot there, and that's going to help it stay there. The more you squat, the easier it's going to be. You might even like to hold it in that position. So this is our figure four pose. Hold it there. Breathe through it. If you feel up for it, you might like to come into prayer pose. Feel the legs working hard. It isn't always about flexibility. It's about strength, endurance, persistence. Okay, inhale. Take it back up to standing high knee position and exhale it down. Shake it out. Good job. Alright, my mat is moving on the carpet. So, left knee now, inhale, bring it up high. Pause there. Breathe through it. Draw the belly in. Lift that knee high. Find your balance. Prayer pose if you can. Know that it's okay if you're resting on something. Do your best just to use like one finger and minimal effort here. Use your toes that are grounded to grip into the mat. Let's fly it through our warrior three position. Inhale first to prepare. Exhale, hover forwards with the chest. Kick the left leg back, reach the arms out long in front, shoulder width apart. Inhale, bring it back, control. High knee, bring it up high. Exhale, reach. Inhale, back. You go at your own pace here. Exhale, reach. Notice that my standing leg is a little bent here. Inhale it in. Last reach. And inhale back. Hover it there. Take a breath. Cross that left ankle over the right knee. Start to squat down, adjust if you need to. Hold yourself there. Find your balance. And breathe through that ujjayi breath. Feel the legs working hard. You might start to feel the heart rate rise up a lot more here. One more breath. Let's breathe it here together. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Inhale, rise back up. And exhale, ground the feet. Shake it out again. Lovely. Alrighty, we're going to make it down into a bit of a kneeling lunge position. So take it back to Tadasana. Feet together or hip width apart. Hands at prayer pose. Inhale, drop the hands, take a wide reach. Just a little back bend if you like. Exhale, swan dive down into a forward fold, bending the knees as we come down. Inhale, halfway lift, straight arms, legs and back. Exhale, this time plant the hands or just the fingertips even. Take a big step back with your right leg. Ground the toes only. So what we want to do is have the hands either side of that front left leg. Adjust yourself here and back on the tippy toes only. We're not trying to ground that back right foot. So from there, drop the hips a bit lower and we want to try and align our ankle and knee here together. From there, you might like to place the hands down. I myself don't have much room because I have short arms, I swear. So I generally stay up on my fingertips here. You do you. If this is too exhausting, drop that back right knee down right now. That's totally fine. If you love a challenge, keep it up. Round your right hand fully. Inhale your left hand wide to the ceiling. This is a balancing one as well. If you need to, like I said, keep that right knee down. It's just as good. If you want that little extra, lift that back right knee up. Really engage it strongly. Opening through the chest here, not just the arm. We want to gaze up if we can. One more breath. Keep that back right leg straight. You've got this. I'm going to slow it down soon. Let's bring it back. Both hands either side of that front foot. Swipe it all the way back, or rather slide it back to downward facing dog. So however you can get there. Let's meet in downward dog for a couple of breaths. Feel free to pedal out the downward dog. Do what feels right here. And we are going to step our right leg to the top. So to do that, let's inhale onto the tippy toes. Exhale the knees down. And lift your chest up. Bring your right leg up in front from there. So that's the easiest way to get into a lunge position. From there then, plant the hands back either side of that front knee, or foot rather. Toes are tucked behind you. Ready to lift. So from here, if you want to, lift that back left knee up. You can stay down there if you prefer. Ground the left palm. It must be the palm, not the fingers here. Open that right arm wide and high. Breathe through it. Hold that left behind knee up as high as you can for as long as you can. Rest when you need to. Strengthening everything up here. Breathe. Caught myself holding my breath. Ujjayi breath. And last breath. Exhale, plant the hands down. Nice work. Drop that left knee down if it's not there already. From here, we're going to keep the legs where they are, lift the chest up nice and high, and bring the hands to the hips. Then lunge forwards with the hips. So we want to come into a nice low lunge like so. Untuck the toes behind you if you like. I find that's better on my knees. Roll the shoulders down and back. And rather than just hanging back, not coming into the pose much, really push yourself into the pose. So squeeze those glutes, push yourself in there, and breathe through that. We should feel it on the left side, sort of through the hip flexor and quads area. Find your breath again. If you want to challenge yourself, close the eyes. Find your balance. Lift the chest high. We don't want to lean forwards here. If anything, a slight little back bend is great. Helps open you up that little bit more. This used to be one of my least favorite poses. Alrighty. From here, keep the hands where they are. Use your core and leg strength. Push that right leg straight. Come onto the heel of that foot. You might need to shimmy it out further. Either way, we want that left knee under the hip. From there then, flex the right toes towards you, so no pointing here, flex it down or up. Exhale, hinge from the hips where you're holding forwards, find your balance. You may like to place one hand down on the ground. If that's easy, you can place two. You know, it might not be possible to even do that. So maybe both hands, one hand on that thigh. Just don't push on the knee for me. So wherever you're at, take a big breath in, lengthen through the spine. Keep that foot flexing, exhale, sinking into it as much as is comfortable for you. Really getting into the hamstrings here, potentially behind the knee a little bit, maybe even the calf. A nice easy way to keep track of your breath is through vinyasa practice. So vinyasa simply just means movement of the body with the breath. So inhale, I want you to point that right foot away from you. You might feel it through the top of the shin, through the top of the foot. You might feel it change in the hamstring. Everyone's going to feel it a little differently here. We'll build differently. Inhale. Once you've pointed, we want to exhale, flex the foot back towards you, and it's important to engage the quads here. Inhale to point. Exhale, flex. Keep folding, don't lift the chest up just because we're moving. Keep flowing with the breath with that foot. One more full breath. Right. Push back into that front right foot, ground the foot with your body weight. We're going to twist into a wide forward fold. So both hands come to the left side of the mat. Tuck your toes behind you, and we're going to lift the back knee and twist to pivot on the feet into our wide forward fold. Not too hard, hey? Not too hard. So from here, we want to point the toes in slightly. Hands are grounding on the ground potentially. If that's way too hard, just bring the hands up, bend the knees, rest the hands on the thighs or calves, whatever you could reach. However, if you can help it, keep the legs as straight as you can with your quads engaged here. Hands can reach down towards the mat. Tuck the chin, close the eyes. So from here, we're going to come to the back edge of your mat. So we're simply just going to bend the knees, twist to the back edge of the mat. So your left leg's going to be in front now. If you can't do that, if you're facing me in a different way on your mat, just swap legs and come to the top. So we have our right foot behind us, our left foot in front, and our hands are down. We're going to drop that right knee down. So come into that position wherever you're at. I like to untuck my toes behind me, so you can do that. Lift the chest up nice and high and bring your hands to your hips. So right now we're gonna upright lunge. We wanna push our hips forwards and into it. Oh, that feels good. So now we're feeling in that right hip flexor, maybe the quads, depending on your body and your tightness. Roll the shoulders down and back. Perhaps close the eyes. Ujjayi breath. Remember, in and out through the nose. If you feel like the urge to breathe out through the mouth, you can. Know that in yoga class, it's etiquette to just breathe gently through the nose. Nearly done. Breathe a little deeper into that pose. And from here, with the hands, keep them at the hips, but push through that left leg to straighten it out. Come onto the heel, shimmy it forwards if you need to. So our left foot is flexing towards us, tall body. Find your balance and exhale, hinge from those hips forwards as far as you can. If you need to lean on something for balance, go for it. Remember, you can ground one hand, so your right hand is most likely going to be able to touch the ground. You might be able to plant two, so you do what you can do here. Breathe through it. Not moving the foot just yet. Just settle yourself in, make sure that you're comfortable and square. You don't want the hips poking off to the side here. Whenever you're ready, feel free to add in that little vinyasa movement with the foot and breath. So, inhale, point the toes down as much as comfortable. Exhale, flex it back towards you. Remember, we still want to stay in that fold, so ground yourself wherever you can. Inhale to point. Exhale, flex. It really doesn't matter which way you breathe through this little ankle movement, it's just mindfulness. Notice how this side feels compared to the other side. I feel quite balanced this week actually. And just know that every week's going to be different. And your breath and the movement with it. One more breath of movement. Push the weight back into that left foot. I'm going to pivot back into that wide forward fold. So both hands come to the right edge of your mat. Tuck the toes, turn the feet, and pivot back into that wide forward fold. So from here, excuse the view, we're going to inhale, lift to a halfway lift. So come onto the fingertips, whether it's on your hands, on the mat or on your legs. And then exhale, fold it back down. Inhale, lift. This time exhale, pivot back to the top of your mat. Both hands reach the top. Sweep it back to downward facing. Meet there for a couple of breaths. When you're ready, inhale, rise onto both tippy toes, and exhale, slowly lower the knees down, hip width apart. Untuck the toes, rest back to child's pose. Bring the big toes to touch here and reach those arms out long, resting the head down. If it feels nice and you feel the urge to bring your hands by your sides, we're ready to come into our full child's pose. Resting the head is essential. Let your shoulders and arms become heavy. And your breath to carry through. Take one more breath here. From there, rise up with the chest into a kneeling position. We're pretty much at the back edge of our mat, and that's totally fine. So bring the knees together. If it's okay to sit like this, ideally we want to sit like this, but if you need to cross your legs or even come into an upright position, you can do that, okay? With the hands, let's get a nice big stretch. So what we're going to do, take a wide reach. Inhale, big reach, little back bend. Exhale, bring the belly in, hands down through heart center. Take another reach. Inhale, exhale, down. All right, we're going to bring our right elbow on top of the left elbow and just hold on to opposite shoulders. So hold on to opposite shoulders here. Now, if that's easy and you want to take it a little bit further, we want to actually reach the palms towards one another. So sitting like this, you can sit however you like, remember. Trying to hold those palms as close together as you can. Don't worry if it looks like an unusual shape. Inhale, lift the elbows a little higher. Reach the hands a little bit towards the ceiling. And what this is doing is stretching the back of the shoulders here. Breathe through it. Remember, if this is too much, just hold onto the shoulders and you want to pull the shoulders down and away. Both great poses. One more full breath. Close the eyes if you can. We're going to inhale, unwind. Take a wide reach as you unwind. And exhale down through center. This time, place your left elbow on top of the right. Same deal, hold onto the shoulders if that's all you can do today. Otherwise, reach those palms towards one another a little bit more. So if your elbows are really low down onto your chest, you might still feel some sensation here. The idea is to lift the elbows a little further in front of you, all right? And keep those hands off of the face too. Lots of little cues here, but you just do your best, as always. No more, no less, just your best. It's probably one of my favorite quotes, that one. Mind your breath, notice which side you might feel more. I can feel the left side, shoulder blade area a lot more. One more breath only. And unwind the arms, take a wide reach. Exhale them down. From here then, in our kneeling position still if we can. If you're in a seated position, just meet me back here now. I'm going to bring your hands and interlace them behind your back. So interlace like holding your hands, and then straighten those hands and arms down and away. Open the shoulders back, and then start to lift your arms a little further away from your back. So we're getting a nice big chest and shoulder opening stretch. Really great for your thoracic area through the spine. Keep the chin slightly tucked. You can have a little back bend here, that's fine. Breathe through it. Stay here if you're a beginner. If you want to take it a little further, use your core strength here and lean forwards into child's pose. So resting the head all the way down to the mat, and then you can continue to keep reaching those arms up behind you as high as comfortable. Now if you're in this child's pose and you can't lift your hands off your back, I suggest you come back to a kneeling pose, because that's ego trying to come in rather than just your guiding love and light. One breath here. When you're ready, release the hands from the back totally and roll up if you were in a child's pose. All right, coming to a seated position, sweeping the legs out in front. Recenter yourself on the mat, and we want to have our ankles just over the edge of our mat, because we're going to come down into a lying Shavasana very soon. Not yet, but soon. Arms come out long. Inhale, sit up tall, flex your feet towards you. Once you've inhaled, exhale, reach towards those toes, but not for them. We're just reaching to or past them. Inhale, lift up, take a recline as far back as you want to go here. Unless your back, you have troubles, just come to a nice tall neutral position. Exhale, forward fold, reaching. Inhale, recline. Use those abs, find them. Exhale, forward fold. So it's important that you keep your feet flexing towards you and reaching far. Continue, keep moving with your breath and movement here. I get carried away talking. Last one, inhale, recline. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up nice and tall, and if you've shimmied your way with your ankles, just remember, pop them over the edge of the mat. This time, exhale, we're going to come all the way down. If you plonk it down, that's fine. Do your best every time, it's all we can ask for. Bring those knees in towards the chest. Hug them in. Enjoy that feeling. All right. Round the feet nice and close to the hips. Feet are hip width apart and close to the bum, so you can shimmy them in there. Hands by your sides, tuck your shoulder blades under behind you, so your back and chest is trying to lift up a little bit. From here then, you might even like to bring your hands to your lower belly. What we're trying to do is scoop our pelvis up and roll every vertebrae up into a little hip bridge slowly. So hands at the belly, scoop the pelvis forward so that the tailbone is sort of curling underneath. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Not that we can physically do that, but have the intention to do that. Lift high and slow until you're at the top and hold that there. Lengthen through the shoulders and neck here. Find length and space. And get comfortable. No, not really. We won't be here for too long, but enough to feel some strengthening through the back body. Notice the hamstrings, which is back of the legs, the glutes, core and ribs drawing in as well here. And we're going to lower our way down again, vertebrae by vertebrae, peeling ourselves down to the mat once more. Great job. Hug the knees into the chest. Inhale, left leg straighten up to the ceiling. Option to hold your right knee here with both hands, one hand or no hands. If you're doing no hands, that's a lot more advanced. You might like to pop your hands under your bum. Either way, lower that left leg low and slow to the mat. Core strength here. Once it's met the mat, the left leg that is, left hand reaches to the right knee and roll it over to the left side. So bring the hip off of the mat all the way over with you and open your right arm out shoulder height here. So you're gazing over to that right side, closing off the eyes and enjoying a beautiful spinal twist. One of my favorite poses. Find your Ujjayi breath once more as we're coming closer to the end of our practice. Allow the chest to be free, spine to be long. One more breath on this side. When you're ready, brace your core, roll it back onto the spine, and hug both of those knees back into the chest. Let's go to the other side. So inhale your right leg up nice and tall to the ceiling. Your left knee is held by one, both, or no hands. Take a breath in again to prepare if you need to. Exhale, lower that right leg down by using those core muscles. Slowly, about 5 seconds is ideal. Once that heel meets the ground, right hand to left knee, roll it over to the right side. As you come over, open that left arm out wide, look over to that left arm. Allow your hips to really twist into it. Roll yourself through that twist. And find yourself here. Ujjayi breath again. In through the nose. Out through the nose, but with a little sigh through the back of the throat still. Lengthening the breath. Seeing if you can do about 5 seconds for each inhale and exhale. Maybe 3 seconds is a good starting point. Couple more breaths here. Make our way back to the spine. Brace your core. Hug it back in with the knees to the chest. And we can lower both legs out now, however you'd like. It could be a restorative way. If you want to work hard, place your hands by your sides or even under your hips. Straighten both legs out. So what you can do is lower both legs down. That is quite advanced, so I would suggest both knees bent to start off with. And then you can slide your legs out at the end, but you'll know what level you're at here. Once we're into this lying position, get comfortable. Hopefully you've got an eye pillow nearby, maybe a blanket, any socks, anything you need at all, just to make sure that you're super comfortable. And then we'll meet on our backs into our spinal meditation position. Once you're here, allow the shoulder blades to tuck behind you. Your feet to widen about the width of the mat. Maybe your hands to reach off to the sides, about 45 degrees out from your body. You might like to rock your neck from side to side. Find a neutral position then to what feels straight for you. Take 3 big breaths now, breathing in through the nose. This time side out. Again, breathe in. Really feel the release. One more like that. Let it all go. Back to a resting breath. We need no effort now. Just mindfulness that we are present in this very moment. Make sure that you are completely comfortable right now to avoid any moving if possible. Know that you've done a beautiful job working on yourself, your breath. Proud of yourself for getting on the mat this week. Know how good you feel right now. This is the reason why you get back on your mat. Among many other benefits of yoga, it is so calming for the nervous system, emotions, many other things. I'll leave you here in silence. Do your best to let go of thought, let go of worry or stress, whatever might come up. Take a big breath if things do arise, and breathe them away. Do this as often as you need to, especially if you're feeling a little restless. hear the sound of the singing bowl. Know that that sound is bringing us back into this present room, space. Notice where you lie. The weight of your body. Start to wriggle your fingers and toes. Notice what's going on around you and within you. Remove the ankles and the wrists, rolling them around, leading into the elbows. And bring the feet close together. Walk them together. Take a reach over with the hands over the head. Interlace the fingers if you like. Turn the palms away. Reach far. And bring it back. The arms hugging the knees into the chest. And take a moment there. Rolling over onto the right hand side in your fetal position, however is comfortable for you. Lay there for a couple of moments, soaking in those feel-good emotions. And there, rising up to a seated position, crossing the legs and meeting where we first began. If you have an essential oil, grab that. I've got one nearby. I have peppermint today, so mine is pre-diluted. Rolling on my hand. You might have a candle or something else that is aromatic. I love to add in that sense of smell to the practice. Rub the hands together. We're going to take 3 big breaths here now. So when you're ready, hands to prayer pose. Bring the hands up to the face as we breathe in now. Hands to the heart, breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Even bigger now. Let it go. Feel the shoulders drop. And let's bring our prayer pose up to the third eye. Rest your thumbs at your third eye. My thumbs at my third eye. My thoughts are pure and clear. With my thumbs to my lips, my speech is pure and clear. With my thumbs to my chest, my heart is pure and clear. I'd love you now to take a moment of gratitude for your day. Whether it's something that's happened or going to happen, affirming, I am grateful for whatever it is. Thank you so much for joining me for week 2 of Pranayama. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you soon for your bonus video. Namaste. Bye for now.